Everybody wants to be the king of all black people.
Only my guess was don't make the black kids angry.
Hell, even some white people want the job. Just the other day, Beto O'Rourke gave a speech saying white racism is the foundation they built this entire country on. And I don't think that went over that well. I don't think the fellas and lovely ladies are that excited about Mr. Beto O'Rourke. Anyway, Pete Buttigieg, he gives the same speech about systemic white racism, institutional white racism. A poll came out, this was in Drudge the other day, a poll came out that said black people do not like Buttigieg because he is gay. So I guess we're just not taking applications for king of all black people from any of the white people this year. That's okay because there's no shortage of contenders for king of all black people, and we're going to meet a new one in a minute. But why don't we look at the couple of the old ones just as a refresher, just as a reminder where the bar is, how far the bar is, how high the stakes are, and what you have to do to cut new ground, create new territory to make your claim. Why don't we start with the queen of all black people, Oprah?
And there's a whole generation, I say this, I said this, for apartheid South Africa. I said this for my own, community in the South. There are still generations of people, older people, who were born and bred and marinated in it, in that prejudice and racism, and they just have to die.
White people got to go, especially old white people. Hey, why don't we head down to Jackson, Mississippi? We cannot neglect our old buddy down there, Councilman Stokes. He's not really into that. He's not really into cops, to tell you the truth.
Yesterday, Jackson City Councilman Kenneth Stokes' comments about violence against police officers from other cities has Facebook buzzing. Here's what he said.
Well, I suggest we get the black leadership together, and as these jurisdictions come into Jackson, we throw rocks and bricks and bottles at them. That'll send the message, we don't want you in here.
How dare you?
And what about Killer Mike? He's the king of all black people in the Bernie Sanders campaign. Yeah, in 2016, he traveled the country with Bernie, introducing him here, introducing him there, talking to reporters about what a great guy Bernie is, how he's down with the fellas are down with him. It's amazing that during that, and he's doing the same thing this year, but it's amazing during all that time, not one reporter asked Killer Mike or Bernie about one of Killer Mike's most famous songs.
When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfuckers.
Yeah, 'cause to me he ain't do no wrong, just shot a cop.
When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfuckers.
95, 97, 96. Would you turn that speaker away, please? Thank you. May I ask you why you rated it so highly?
I guess going around talking about killing cops isn't that big of a deal. I wonder why that is. All right, let's meet our newest contender for the gig of king of all black people. Well, at least in northern New Jersey. His name is Rick Wilby. Now, Rick is an aspiring businessman. He wants to have all these contracts with all these cities in northern Jersey, except he has a criminal background. And so that kind of eliminates him from a lot of consideration.
Made a mistake in the past, okay? You might have punched a few suckers in the face, okay? And you might have had a few assault charges, but you turn your life around. You got some kids. Now you got to put food on the table. You decide to legitimize yourself, get a few tow trucks and go out and do what it do. That's it, like anybody else. I mean, but is anybody holding all these white folks responsible for their record of raping, killing, and murdering everybody on the face of the earth? Can that be used against them in business?
That doesn't matter to Rick. Rick thinks because he's black, the black people on these city councils should remember their blood brotherhood that entitles him to get all these contracts regardless of whether he is qualified for them or not.
Before you even became a Democrat, before you became a Republican, before you even had anything that you had today, you was black. You was born into this. Your first allegiance is to your people. Never forget that. I don't care where you go or who you with or who you're around. Make sure that even your white friends know that you're black. Don't try to compromise in front of them and make them feel all comfortable and you sitting there watching Roots and you going to shut it off. My white friends come by the house, I tell them to pull up a seat. I'm watching Roots. You're going to like this. You understand? And I turn up the volume.
Now, this could be a plus or a minus. I don't know. I know the fellas are not down with Jewish people any more than they're down with gay people. Anyway, so one of the groups of people holding Rick back from achieving his full Bill Gates-like business potential is a particular religious group called the Jewish people. He does not care for some of them.
Because you profess to be a Jew, which even makes you even more of a hypocrite. Okay? For the simple fact that you claim to be a minority group and you claim to struggle like black people, but you feed on black people? Those are your victims? Those are the people that you want to suck their blood?
And most people think black people can't be racist either, by the way.
And one of the requirements for being the king of all black people is you have to be a little bit of an historian. Or in Rick's case, you have to be not just an historian, you have to be a historian and mind reader at the same time. You know, if this next segment we're going to hear from Rick kind of reminds me of what Henry Skip Gates does on PBS. He does all this genealogy and he kind of gets into the people's minds, all the ancestors of all these famous white people, kind of saying, what were they thinking when they owned slaves? Rick knows.
There's Klansmen that die old men in bed. They never spent one day in jail. They kill more of you than a little bit. And their friends give them high fives. They probably got pictures of your dead ancestors on the wall. And you can't advocate for your people. You can't be strong and black because you're trying to make excuses.
Rick became a little bit famous among the watchers of the political scene up in northern New Jersey. There's all these towns up there. He became a little bit famous when he went in front of one of the city councils complaining about the term Black Friday. He said it was just an awful term. It put down black people. We got to stop using it. And he demanded that all the merchants stop calling the day after Thanksgiving Black Friday because it had all these terrible, terrible, terrible meanings. Turns out just about pretty much every holiday does. Now, I have to give Rick some props for this because what he's about to say, I don't know if it's true or false, but true or false, I would never have the nerve to say this, especially if I was kind of keeping company with a particular young lady.
Every year, actually, we go through this St. Valentine's Day madness, this bullshit holiday that people all over the world like to celebrate, not understanding why they're celebrating this holiday.
Rick likes to make lots and lots of videos, and some of these videos are making their way around the political, legal, law enforcement circles up in the New Jersey, New York, Connecticut area. They don't really think that highly of the guy, to tell you the truth. I don't know why, because here he's making a very strong stand about about tow truck drivers. He was saying the one thing tow truck drivers can never do is violate somebody's privacy, go into their car and look inside of it, see what's in there, because that's kind of like rule number one for being a tow truck driver. You're just not allowed to do that.
Okay, don't forget, I used to tow for you guys, man. I seen all the illegal shit you did. Don't be mad at me because I refused to illegally enter somebody's car that you arrested, and I told you guys that that's against the law. Imagine you tow for the police. You got to tell them it's against the law to illegally enter somebody's car. Okay, imagine you tow for the police and you asking them, yo, you guys don't ever pull over some white folks? White folks don't have insurance. They don't drive with no license.
Well, guess who did that?
How dare you?
Yeah. I think somebody baited their car. I think it might have been a woman. It might have been a dancer. I think she baited her car with cameras and stuff because she thought Rick was doing that. Yeah, Rick was doing that. Going into a car he has no business being in. And if you watch this video, you're going to see somebody else pop in. That's his partner, accomplice in funny business. I think he's the head of an outfit in New Jersey called Mitchell Towing. So here comes our buddy Rick getting into the car. I think he towed this car out of an apartment complex the day before. He may or may not have actually even been entitled to tow the car, but he had it. He towed it. Talking to the young lady on the telephone saying, come get your car, this and that. She didn't say anything about going in there, breaking into her car and looking through all of her private stuff. So I think in this envelope, I think there are some pictures. And now you can see Rick laughing. I'm not 100% sure of this. Somebody told me this. These might be racy pictures. Whatever pictures they are, Rick Wilby is getting a lot of fun out of them. Getting so much fun out of them. Pretty soon he's going to call one of his fellas over to share the love. Hey, come on over here, my man. Yeah, quit messing with that car. Come over here and see some real business. There he is. He's talking to him. Yep. Too bad we don't have a microphone. Here comes the proprietor of Mitchell. Oh yeah. Okay. Here's some other stuff. I think they baited the car with. I believe those are pornographic videos. And I believe Rick is taking great delight in showing his buddy all the different pornographic videos that were located nominally inside what I am told is called a dancer's bag. So dancers, when they go to their business, which often includes more than dancing, they take a bag with them with all sorts of little toys and things that aid them in the whatever they're going to be doing on the side. Rick is getting a great deal of fun out of this. Fun he is not entitled to have, and they both know it. We just heard him say he knows it fully.
How dare you?
So now Rick's running for city council because he's up there telling everybody in beautiful Englewood, New Jersey, there's the dancer's bag, that pink thing. He's telling everybody in Englewood, New Jersey that, you know, everybody up there is corrupt, everybody up there is a bad person, except for him. He's going to go in there and straighten things out just as soon as he finds the time when he stops digging through other people's cars, finding some of their most intimate objects of their intimate lives.
You have to understand, you have to look at it from every child's point of view that was raised in the hood. How he gonna get his money to have clothes to go to school?
All for the benefit of the great, he's not done now. All for the benefit of the great sport for him and his buddy that runs a auto body shop. We missing anything here? Go to the roof, go to the back, put the bag back. Any other compartments we're missing stuff out of? No, I think we pretty much got it all. Everybody's laughing. Okay, catch you on the flip side, Rick. So I worked for a city councilman out in beautiful San Diego, California for a couple of years. I have to confess, we had some fun. We never had that much fun.
Please, sir. I want some more.
So I don't know how Rick's campaign is going. I don't know if he's going to win or lose. I don't even know if he deserves to win or to lose. Maybe that stuff's popular with the fellas and lovely ladies. Maybe it's not. Popular or not, I know Rick is down with the cause 100%, the cause of black victimization, white racism. He's all about that. And whatever else you say about that, that's one cause that will never make the black kids angry.
They will trip in the back. Just watch your back. Or you might get smashed. Don't make the black kids angry.